Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessie, and today we're going book shopping. Well, I'm filming this a day early, so we're going book shopping tomorrow. I have not done a book shopping vlog since, I want to say early December when I was doing Bookmas, so I'm very stoked to get back into another book shopping vlog. I feel like I haven't been book shopping a lot this year just because I'm trying to save money, but sometimes you just gotta treat yourself, and that's what we're gonna do this weekend. A little bit of a backstory to give you my game plan. I am going to Half Price Books. I plan on going to 2 of them. I love Half Price Books because Half Price Books, I mean, what more could you want, you know? And it's just so fun going into there to see what you find and if there's any books that you want to pick up. So we're gonna stop at 2 of those. That's the plan. If I find another bookstore on the way, I'm not stopping myself there either. But I am from Michigan and we don't have any Half Price Books here, and the closest one to me is about, I think, like 2 hours or so away in Ohio. We're gonna drive down there and I'm gonna do a little road trip, little bookstore road trip. I'm actually going to Cleveland to go on a hike Sunday morning, so we're gonna drive down there Saturday, stop at the Half Price Books on the way there. I'm staying the night there Saturday and then going hiking on Sunday and coming back home. We're here. Lighting is awful. I'm sweating my butt off and I have to pee so bad. So hopefully there's a bathroom in here, but we're gonna go shop around and then I'm gonna go to the other one a little later. This parking lot is chaotic. I'm gonna get out of here as fast as I can. We'll see what I find and hopefully I don't spend too much. So let's go to our first stop and I'll see you when I get in there. I should have set a limit, I should have set a budget, and I didn't, and I realized that when I started immediately picking up a whole bunch of books. I don't even know what I got. I got 4 books. I'll show you guys later. Yeah, I went in there literally within 2 seconds. I had 3 in my hand. But I've noticed that every time I go to Half Price Books, their fantasy section is so small, which, like, fantasy's elite, so that's probably why the fantasy section is small, because nobody gets rid of their books. I spent 41 bucks. Okay, next door. I don't know, screw it. Should I not set a limit? I said I was gonna treat myself. But that's step 1. Also, I am wearing the same sweatshirt as yesterday. Please don't judge me. It's comfy, it's new. Every time I get a new sweatshirt or a new hoodie, I don't want to take it off. I'm sure you guys can understand because I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing. I heard the cashier tell someone that that's the busiest they have been in months. Which, like, of course, I picked the day where they're busiest in months. So yeah, I'm in the middle of Ohio. I have no idea where I am. Never been here before. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go, and then I will see you at Half Price Books number 2. coming at you with a voiceover because I need to explain myself. Well, I guess I don't really need to explain myself, but I did end up at another bookstore. My plan was to only go to 2 half-price books, and here we are at Barnes & Noble. This one was actually cool though because it was like more of the newer shelves that they're adding on, and then the other half was the older Barnes & Noble look. So very interesting. I haven't seen the new shelves in the store yet, I don't think. I'm really obsessed with the cover of A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison Sass, but I read another book by this author and I didn't really like it, so it is pretty to look at, but I don't think I'll ever pick it up, which is unfortunate because it's dark academia and I love that. I really need the next 2 books in this series. I read the first one on my Kindle, but I want to pick them all up. I did not realize how thick they were in real life though. And then also this book I need to read so bad. I have it downloaded on my Kindle, and then I don't know what the heck this was. It was like a trilogy bind up. It was huge, bigger than my head. Crazy. I kind of want it though, I'm not gonna lie. I also need to read these. This is me in the bookstore just saying, hey, I need to read all these books, but yep, I got some. Here's a very short clip of the hike the next morning. There wasn't anything too crazy to look at, but this was just a nice waterfall, so I'm happy that we got to see this, but I was hoping we could get more. Then, hey, yeah, I ended up at another bookstore. This is Books A Million, though, and I love Books A Million. I think the one closest to me is hours away, so I was very happy to find one. The store is just so cozy. They have so many options. They have a bargain section of books because they have books from Book Outlet, and I found a lot of books from this store that were super cheap whenever I can go to a Books A Million. And it's so cozy in here. I honestly wish I could live here. I could spend hours in this bookstore. I like it a lot better than Barnes & Noble. And like I said, they have bargain books. This one was $5. I snatched this one up because I love this duology so much, and I do want the hardcovers eventually, so I picked that one up. And then I really wish I liked this trilogy, but I just don't. I love the sprayed edges. I just don't like the books though. And then these books obviously are my favorites. I love them so much. In Her Radiant Curse, I was going to get the paperback pre-order, but I never got it, so I bought the hardcover instead, and I'm actually very happy that I did because I don't like the spine on this one. It doesn't match the other ones. And then these two, I need to know if I should read these. If you guys have read Anatomy or Immortality, please let me know if they're good. I want to read them so bad, I think. I was very confused with the sprayed edges on these books. It's literally one sprayed edge. I've never seen this before. I don't know why it's like that. And then this is Watermoon and a cute dragon, just saying. But if you guys have not looked at the inside of this book, it's crazy pretty. The hardcover is pretty, like the naked hardcover, and the end pages, it folds into like an origami paper boat, which is so cool. And then I needed this book, but it was $35, so I did not get that. Ooh! I wish I liked this book. Oh my god, you guys, I was not supposed to do what I did. You're too low. Let me fix you. I need to turn my chair a little bit. Excuse me while I film all this book haul stuff because I have a little bit of a stuffy nose. So if I sound weird, I do apologize. But, I have my book haul. I think I have 12 books. I still don't know how I ended up at 4 bookstores. Going to Books A Million, that was definitely not in the plans. I knew that there was a Barnes & Noble out there, so I figured that I would end up there eventually. But the next day, coming home, I didn't think I was gonna end up at a Books A Million. Looking for places to hike or like things to sightsee, it came up on Google Maps, and then I ended up there. First up, you guys saw I went to Half Price Books. Those were my first 2 stops. I went to 2 separate ones. The first one I did end up getting 4 books. I think I spent about $41. That one was so busy and it was very overwhelming to be in. I only looked in the fantasy section and the young adult section. I didn't really go anywhere else just because there were so many people in there. First up, I have Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This is book 1 in the Celestial Kingdom duology. Our main character grew up on the moon, or they are growing up on the moon, and they're accustomed to solitude, unaware that she is being hidden from the feared celestial emperor who exiled her mother for stealing his elixir of immortality. Our main character's magic starts to flare up and she ends up getting discovered. She's forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. So then she goes to the celestial kingdom and is disguising her identity, and then she's learning all these things like archery and stuff like that from the emperor's son. I think this is going to be a little bit of a romance as well. And then it says to save her mother, she has to go on a quest confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies across the earth and skies. And then there ends up being this forbidden magic that threatens the kingdom, so she has to challenge this emperor. And the other fantasy that I got was The Water Outlaws. This is a hardcover. I didn't really want a hardcover, but it is a standalone, so I'm okay with it. It's very pretty green on the inside. Our main character in this one is an expert arms instructor. So she's training the Emperor's soldiers in sword, battle axe, spear, crossbow, all this weapon stuff. It says, unlike bolder friends who flirt with challenging the unequal hierarchies and values of imperial society, she just believes in keeping her head down and doing her job. And then it says, until a powerful man with a vendetta rips that carefully built life away. Disgraced, tattooed as a criminal, and on the run from an imperial marshal who will stop at nothing to see her dead, she's recruited by bandits. And it says these bandits proclaim a belief for justice for women, but they are also murderers, thieves, smugglers, and cutthroats. Apart, they love like demons and fight like tigers. Together, they could bring down an empire. Definitely going to be pretty intense. I think a lot of these books that I'm going to show you in this book haul are new authors to me as well, so I'm going to be discovering quite a bit of new authors as I read these books, which is always a good thing. The last two that I got from the first half price books, these are both young adult. I got Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I don't know if it's a trilogy or if it's a little bit of a longer series, but I've been wanting to read this for a while. I think this is more so a YA dystopian type thing. So basically in this world, nobody can die. There's not anything like hunger, disease, war, or anything that can kill you. So you're just living forever until a scythe is ordered to kill you. So they are the only ones that can do the duty of getting rid of people. And they are commanded to do so to control the number of the population so it doesn't get too high. And then we have our main characters who are chosen to apprentice a scythe, which obviously they don't want to do that. They don't want the role of having to kill someone and take all these people out. So I think we're just gonna get them trying to reverse the situation and get rid of these scythes and have everybody live forever and change this world. I've heard a lot of great things about this one. I'm very excited to get into this series because, like I said, I've wanted to for a while. Lastly, from that one, I have This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. This is a series that I wasn't sure if I wanted to read, but I've been seeing so much of this since it came out, and a lot of people have rated this so highly. I believe this is part of a trilogy or a longer series. I don't know if there's a fourth book announced, but I know the third book just came out recently. I actually have no idea what this series is about at all, but I've read the first 3 books in the Shatter Me series by this author, and I really enjoy her writing a lot. I just never continued the Shatter Me series because I had not read those books for years, and then I just didn't feel like picking it up again. So I'm very much looking forward to another series by this author. To all the world, Eliza is a disposable servant, not the long-lost heir to an ancient Jinn kingdom forced to hide in plain sight. The Crown Prince Cameron has heard the prophecies foretelling the death of his king, but he could never have imagined that the servant girl he can't put out of his mind would one day uproot his kingdom and the world. And that's all it's giving. So I don't know, just another kingdom type story, and that's all I know. Hopefully I love the series as well. This is another highly anticipated read for me and something that I think I will really enjoy. If you've read any of these, let me know because I want to know your thoughts about them. Moving into the second half price books, that one was a lot nicer than the first one and there wasn't a lot of people in there. Shopping experience was a lot better, but I did only end up getting 1 book. That one also had a very small fantasy section, which kind of made me sad, but I did find a book that I needed, which this book was at the first one, but it was in a hardcover. I got The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, book 3 in the Truly Devious series. This one was $6.49. This is a young adult mystery series about our main character. She's going to a boarding school. There was a mystery that happened back in the 1930s that she is still trying to solve because it never got solved. And then she's also trying to solve a mystery that popped up in her first year of boarding school. There was something that happened with a student there, and then there's more as you go through the books that she is trying to find out. So she's very much into solving 2 mysteries at this point. That is everything I got from half price books. And then, of course, I went to Barnes & Noble because I had to go. First up, I got volume 9 of the Hunter x Hunter manga. I have been trying to collect all of them. I have the first 8 volumes right now, and usually every time that I would go to Barnes, I would see if they had the next volume that I needed. I haven't been to Barnes recently. I used to go a lot last year, but this year and like the end of last year, I haven't really gone too many times. So it's been hard for me to pick up and continue getting all these volumes. Number 8 was very hard for me to find. And then I finally got that one. So now I am on 9. Found that one there. They also had 10. And sometimes I buy more than just one on a trip. But obviously I bought way too many books this trip. So I only decided to get one. Another graphic novel manga type thing. This is Cheese Sweet Home Volume 2. It's just a cute little graphic novel about a cat that finds his home with his new family. Lastly, from Barnes, I got Dark Dawn. This is the last book in the Nevernight Chronicle trilogy by J. Kristoff. I am very nervous for this book just because J. Kristoff is an author that will take away everything you love. Everything you know and love, he can get rid of it. But I also can't wait to read this one because we're finally getting an in-depth explanation with the magic that our main character has, or what she is. She hasn't really known anything about herself, and the one person that she could have gotten an answer from can't talk to them anymore. Cannot wait to see how this trilogy wraps up. Lastly, moving on to Books A Million. I absolutely love Books A Million. I don't know if we have one in Michigan. If we do, I think it's like over an hour away. I want to say I looked it up before, but I can't remember. I got Watermoon. I don't know if this is a young adult fantasy or if it's an adult fantasy, but I have heard great things about this. This is a more recent release, and when it got announced, I had wanted to read this book, but again, I don't even know what it's about. Why do I do that? I don't know. On a back street in Tokyo lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Only the chosen ones who are lost will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Our main character wakes on her first morning as the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger quite unlike its other customers, for he offers help instead of seeking it. Together they must journey through a mystical world to find her father and the stolen choice. By way of rain puddles, rides on paper cranes, the bridge between midnight and morning in a night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, she must reveal a secret of her own and risk making a choice that she will never be able to take back. High ratings from a lot of people that I've seen. Very excited to get into this one. I have a feeling that I'm going to like this a lot. Next up is a book that I have already read, but I really just love these books so much that I want as many editions as I can. And this one was only $5. It was $4.97. This is the second book in the Six Crimson Cranes duology. I really wish they had Six Crimson Cranes, but they only had this one in a hardcover. So I have the paperbacks of both of those. I have been thinking of getting the hardcovers lately. When I saw this for $5, I figured I couldn't not get it. My plan for this is that I want to take the hardcovers off and just display like the naked hardcover, because this has a dragon in the front. I don't know what Six Crimson Crane, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm assuming the first book has a crane. I love these books with all my heart, and I am very happy to have another edition of this. Moving on to this one, they had a big section of signed copies. I got Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is the third book in the Rome, Kentucky series. I actually really enjoyed the first two books in that. It's When in Rome and then Practice Makes Perfect. The male lead in the first one, he has sisters, and I think this one is following one of his sisters. I haven't read any other books by Sarah Adams besides this series, but I'm loving these a lot. I don't know if I would go into another series by her, but this one just is hitting for me. And there's one more character in this series that we got introduced to in the first one that I want to book on him so bad. And I've heard that there's going to be another book, so hopefully we get his story. This one is about Emily. She hates having her carefully crafted world disrupted by anyone. Most of all, her legendary nemesis, Jack Bennett. Emily is a romance writer, and Jack is like the complete opposite of what she would dream up in one of her romance novels, which is why Emily was perfectly happy when Jack left Rome, Kentucky mid-school year with his fiance. The last thing Emily saw coming was Jack's return at the start of summer after calling off the wedding and ending his relationship. But he's here to stay as her colleague and her neighbor. It sounds great. Oh, I didn't even show you the signature. I said, hey, this is a signed copy, and I didn't even show you. It's so cute. There's a little heart in there. I don't have many signed books. I think I only have one. Last book of this book haul, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I've wanted to pick this book up for a very long time. I've seen a lot of quotes from this that I've enjoyed around the internet, so I'm happy that I can finally pick this up and read it and maybe underline and stuff in here. Sylvia Plath masterfully draws the reader into Esther's breakdown with such intensity that Esther's insanity becomes completely real and even rational. Such deep penetration into the dark and harrowing corners of the psyche is an extraordinary accomplishment and has made The Bell Jar a haunting American classic. I really can't tell you much. I'm gonna be honest. This is a great end to the book haul. I can't even tell you a lot about this book. And now I have 12 books, so stay tuned. We're going to be reading a lot of these in hopefully the upcoming videos. If you guys want to see any of these in a reading vlog or anything, let me know. As always, when I read these books, you can follow my Goodreads. I have it linked below in the description in all of my videos, and I always post my ratings on there or whatnot. Sometimes I update in the middle of books. I'm very bad at it though. That is it for my book haul. That's it for my book shopping trip. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next one, whatever that may be. I hope you have a great day or great night wherever you are, and I'll see you later. Bye.